Welcome back to the Orators Diary. I am your host, Adenichi Bisola, and with me here is
Oluwayemisi, and we have one of the best public speakers we know. Yes, I said it. And the coach at ABC Speak Academy, Titi Ibrahim.
Good afternoon, everyone. How are you doing?
We're so good. We are so glad to have you here.
Yeah, the pleasure is mine. When I got this invitation, I'm like, oh, wow, I'm going to be speaking on the podcast. Hey, I don't blow.
So, Coach Titi, I'm curious to know, when did you go into public speaking and why? I mean, you could be a teacher, you could be on Nollywood movies. Why public speaking?
You know, right? It's good to see that everybody understands. Everybody sees it. They see what I'm saying. I told my daddy, let me go to Nollywood. But that man said no. I should even be in Bollywood now because they're more dramatic, or maybe in K-dramas. Yes, that's where I should be. But then I started public speaking when I was 12. Yes, I was in GS3. I started public speaking when I was 12. Yeah.
Okay, then why did you go into it? Was there any motivation? Was there anybody you looked up to or something?
Was there any motivation? Yeah, I've always been a vocal child. I didn't want to speak, but I could speak. I could act. I was one of those kids that shared testimony in church every Sunday. Until they told me my own was too much. And so I just love to speak on my own. But then the truth is, regardless of how much you love to speak, you may not really want to go into some things if you're being if you're obligated to. There's some things that you just love doing naturally. But then the moment they say you must do this thing, no, like cleaning your room or cleaning the house. I can clean the house. But then if you tell me to do it, I become lazy. That kind of thing. Why did I go into public speaking? Why? Was there a specific reason? I think it was more like a responsibility that came with the position I was occupying back then. So my sister was already a debater at school's debates. She was an SS2 back then. But then I was the senior prefect girl and they needed somebody to go for a debate. And they were just like, oh yeah, Titi, come. We go to quiz too. Come in. Then let's pick another girl. Come. Then you guys compete. You pick the best. And that was it.
That's one thing about having older siblings in school. You just automatically pack you guys together.
Exactly.
So, as a public speaker, how important do you believe public speaking is? Like, is there any measure who should go into public speaking and all that stuff?
Who should go into public speaking? So I'm not an expert at life coaching, but then I'll say something. I'll say that it's better that you have something and you don't need it than to need something and you don't have it. I think one of the worst things that could ever happen to me is when I'm helpless. I don't like to be helpless. I do not like to be stranded. And so I try to prepare for everything. I try to plan everything. So if there's any little thing affecting my plan or any little itch in my plan, I go off the radar. I'm like, what is the meaning of this? So I think that's the same thing with life. When you have everything, you want to have money, you want to go to a white vacation and everything, and then you have all the money. But then just one day, or maybe because you're very successful in your field, you want to be a tech girl. Remember that all the successful tech girls, we eventually have to share their story to inspire others. I'm sure that certain persons did not believe that they would have to come to listen the program organized the last Debate Society to share their story. It just felt like, all I have to do is just be a makeup artist and be rich. But then you're a good makeup artist and we want to hear how you did it. The problem is that you're not going to be speaking with your palate. You're going to be speaking with your mouth, and you failed to develop that public speaking skill. So I think everybody should learn public speaking, especially if you want to be successful in life. If you don't want to be successful, it's fine. Nobody really cares. That's the truth. Nobody's going to call you up.
Exactly.
But if you want to be successful, you should learn public speaking.
Okay, so you mentioned that you started public speaking when you were 12 and in GSS3. And looking at the distance between then and now, it's not so much. So how long have you been a coach?
I've been a coach. I've been a coachy for about maybe 5 years. Yeah, I've been coaching people, just coaching colleagues, coaching schools, but paid coach for a year with ABC Speak.
How's the experience been for you as a coach?
It's been beautiful. I think one very good thing about life is that you don't feel so fulfilled when you have so many things. I used to get so many certificates, awards, and all of that. But then when I started coaching people, when I started seeing them get awards, there was this sense of fulfillment that I got from life. In fact, I feel like I'm happier now than I ever was, regardless of all the wins. Even though I've not really won so much, because I've not had time to compete and all that. But then I feel more fulfilled because coaching just gives you the sense of fulfillment. You're doing something and you're seeing it in the life of others. It's amazing.
That's beautiful, actually. So you've been into public speaking for a while, and I would like to ask, I'm curious to know, what's the funniest thing you've seen on stage? What's the funniest thing you've seen on stage since you've been into public speaking?
Funniest thing. What is the mirror on the wall? What's the funniest thing I've seen on stage? Oh, I think it has to be this guy's accent. Oh my god! I will not mention the name of the brother, but then the accent. Oh my god! So it's so bad. I can't really do it now, but if I do it, some person will listen to this podcast and tell the person. But it's so great. I won't say it's so bad. It's so great that every time this person has to speak, or this person has to speak to me, I have to wear my face mask. I don't know what will happen when COVID leaves finally, because so it's now so bad. People know it's so badly now that whenever the guy is about to speak or debate in front of me or something, they just pass me the mask. They're like, give it to Titi. Wow. His accent is so funny. I've heard accents. I've heard Ibadan, I've heard Igba, I've heard Ghanaian, wow. I've heard Indian, I've heard Korean, I've heard every form of accent you can think of. But this one is the king of accents.
Okay. So you've been a coach for a long time, and you've had to train so many people, and it definitely wouldn't be a bed of roses. So what has been your struggle with training people?
I think persons who know what they want. Well, maybe, I don't know, some of them may not really know what they want. They may just think they know what they want, but are not ready to give what it takes to get what they want. Frustrates me the most. I'm like, why should you waste your time? If you don't want to do this thing, just don't. You don't have to. It's not a do or die affair. We already said it. It's only if you want to be successful that it's compulsory. It's not compulsory for everybody. So it sounds really harsh, but that's the truth. If you want to be successful, and funny enough, everybody wants to be successful. But then when you hear this, they're like, oh, she's trying to be insulting. No, if you want to be successful, I'm just trying to tell you, without telling you, that public speaking is very important. But then you're certain persons that know what they want. They know what they want out of life. They know that eventually some things will push them to speak in front of people, but they do not want to give all it takes. You have 5 months to learn. Just sacrifice 5 months of your life to learning public speaking and practice for the rest of your life. But then these persons are not ready to give all it takes. So I think those kind of persons frustrate me the most.
But there are people who are ready to give what it takes to learn, but they still struggle or find it hard. Or that 5 months, it's not enough, because how we assimilate things or learn things is different. So how do you encourage trainees that you find in that category?
Okay, so we have this quote. Some persons are born leaders, some persons are raised leaders, and some persons have leadership recruited upon them. Maybe they have it on their shoulder, then I don't know. But then it sounds something like that. But then, so the truth is, there's some persons who are born speakers. As much as people say it, I believe that they're born speakers. They're persons who are born with some very good skills.
True.
Or who picked up good skills from the environment while they were growing up and didn't really have to learn it formally. Some persons have to learn public speaking from the scratch. Some persons are they're just at the bottom and they have to start from there. And then some persons just come and then they just have somebody who just puts them through. So I think that's the 3 different class of persons. So for persons who are born speakers, it may not be as difficult to learn. So in the first 2 months, some persons are doing very well and they're superstars of the court, you get. Yeah. But then some other persons are finding it difficult and they're struggling. I tell you, know yourself, man. Know yourself. Understand that you're not the other person.
True.
And all you have to do is to be true to yourself. I tell myself, I see persons who are doing better than me in life. But then I tell myself, I am not this person. This person has this. I don't have this. But then being true to myself means that I am putting in the amount of work that I should put in, regardless of the fact that I know I may not be able to match up to that person. So know yourself. Be true to yourself. Know yourself. Know how you can learn, what you can take. Be true to yourself by putting in the work that you need to put in. And trust me, with the right mindset, with this mindset that you can do anything and you can learn, no matter how long it takes you, you get there eventually. You have just 5 months to learn the nitty-gritty. So just wait and learn the principles. You may not be the best graduating student, but you have the rest of your life to practice. And the rest of your life is very long. trust me, you're going to be the best before it's over.
True. And for those who have the talent, I believe having the talent is not enough. You need the skills. What do you think about that?
Definitely. Talent. What was coming to my head was love is not enough. So, talent is definitely not enough. Yeah, talent is not enough because there's some things that talent cannot teach you. You learn from training and experience. So.
Okay, so at the beginning of this podcast, I introduced you as the best of the best. And yes, I am saying it again. So how do you maintain being at the top of your game?
Being at the top of my game, evolve, grow up. Don't just stay, but set new goals as soon as you hit the ones that you set before. So I have a target to be the best speaker in Nigeria. I've won several national best speaker awards. Now I'm moving to the international stage. I want to be the best speaker internationally. I don't know, after maybe all of us go to heaven, I will do, heavenly bodies and earthly bodies competition, and I want to win that one too. Hopefully Jesus Christ is not competing. But then, I just feel like you need to evolve, yes, grow. Times are changing. There are new things that are going. I think I was trying to create content for the next course because I'll be taking a class soon, and if you know me, you realize that sometimes I don't use my script. I just come and I teach it from my head. But then I felt like, no, this time I want to do something different. There should be new content somewhere. And then I decided to do my research and I found some things and I'm like, wow, this was called 2.0 and 3.0 I've missed. Yeah. Wow. Really? So evolve. So now I don't just want to be the best speaker, I want to be a very good coach. That is one of the best public speaking coaches in Nigeria. So evolve, grow, and then set new goals as soon as you hit the previous ones. That's what I do.
Okay, that's beautiful. That's amazing, actually. So, Coach Titi, I want to know, motivational speeches or compare? Which one do you prefer?
That's a tough one. You want me to give motivational speeches to the state of this economy? Are you really asking me? But comparing is not so hard. It's just stuff because there's so many events that I don't think I can really enjoy myself in. Yeah, there's a difference between doing stuff and then enjoying yourself while you're doing it. I'm not sure there's some events that I'll be able to enjoy myself while I'm comparing. But so I'll just go with motivational speeches. Please let me do my thing and get back to my thing. So I'll go back home.
Alright. What about stories and jokes? Which one do you prefer?
Have you heard my jokes? They are so not funny. In stories, please.
Okay, one last question. If you were in a public speaking contest, would you like to go first, middle, or last?
Nice. I know somebody said this question as a revenge. Don't ask me how I know. I just know.
And I'll confirm yes.
Okay, so going first, I think I don't want to be at the middle. I would rather go first or last. But if you ask me, I want to go last all the time. But the only thing is that if you go first, all you have to do is set the bar so high. Like, don't even try to imagine what you just do beyond anybody you've seen. Do beyond you've ever done. Do beyond what you've ever done before. That's what you want to do. So when you set the bar so high, you become the standard. Every other person that cannot measure up, they're gonna bye. But then when you speak last, somehow you get to observe your opponents. You get to see what they have to do. And then I think I got the speaking last. What do we call it now? I got the speaking last thing when I was in schools debates in secondary school, and then I had to, if you speak for and against, you have to come back for rebuttals. And then I was like, oh yeah, when you come for rebuttals, it's always more interesting when you've heard your opponents give their rebuttals, and then you're like, yeah, it's my turn. Yeah. So when you come to give your rebuttals after your opponent, oh my god, you trash it. And then I just end the speech with, I am Titi Ibrahim, and I have spoken. Ha ha! My god. And the problem is that nobody else can come back to say, you have spoken, but you said rubbish. Even if it is rubbish. So I think speaking last is also very good. So I think I'll go last. I just want to go last all the time. Not last in life, in Jesus' name.
Alright, so you're a coach at ABC Speak Academy. So can you just tell us one or two things you do there and encourage people to register for the training?
Okay, so like I said earlier, we coach people for 5 months and you get to practice for the rest of your life. So ABC Speak is Anybody Can Speak Public Speaking Academy. It's a subsidiary of the ABC Learn company. duly registered with Corporate Affairs Commission. And why is the Mrs. shaking? So what we do is raise public speakers, persons, excellent public speakers, because I see public speakers in quotes around the place, and then I'm like, what is this, please? So we raise excellent public speakers who can engage their audience, pass their message across in the best way possible, and also get to entertain their audience while they do that. What we do is a paid training. It's a paid training. It's not for free. This salvation is not for free. You need free salvation, go to Jesus. Hallelujah. so it's a paid training. You get to pay a certain amount every month. But if you just want to reach out to find out more about ABC Speak, please call us on the number 090-600-29779. Or if you see our flyers around Lagos State University or around Ojo, you can also check the other number on the flyer and send us a WhatsApp message via that number. If you're not around Lagos and you want to sign up for the hybrid classes, yes, we recently just started our hybrid class program. We're working towards getting persons around the country and around the world who want to learn public speaking but are not around our physical location. So please send us a message and try to give us a call so we can explain the arrangements to you, and you can be on your way to being the best public speaker you've ever seen in your life.
Okay, so we've reached the end of today's episode. It's been an amazing time with Coach Titi. We love you.
I love you guys.
Okay, so this podcast has been brought to you by ABC Speak Academy, as she mentioned earlier. At ABC Speak, we love you to remember that I can speak, you can speak, anybody can speak.
Thank you.